Hello and welcome back to Forza Motorsport 7 with a bit of a challenge. Now, unless you've been living under a rock for the last few weeks, you will have noticed that Porsche has used the 919 EVO to beat the Nurburgring lap record, which they held for 35 years, by almost 1 minute. They did a 5:19.54. That is stupidly fast. No one thought the original 611 could be beaten, but then Porsche decided to beat Porsche. And I don't think that will ever be beaten unless they start designing custom build cars for the challenge, like Pikes Peak. Or unless they try and bring a Formula 1 car on the circuit, which I don't know if they will, but we shall see. Anyway, in Forza, you can go very fast. You can go unrealistically fast. Like, very highly trained professionals can easily do under 5 minutes. And with the Renault Formula 1 car, I can't. So, I knew the Renault was going to be fast. I wanted to try and beat it. I knew the Renault was going to be fast, but I didn't want to use it. I wanted to try other vehicles to see if I cannot use the most OP car in the game and use something else, because I thought that'd be a little more interesting. Now, the starting vehicle, I wanted to try a road car. There's only one road car that can really hold up to the challenge of the Nordschleife, and that is the Koenigsegg 1-1. This was on track for a 6-minute 40 before they crashed it. So, I thought that was a good place to start. Now, obviously this has racing tires, lighter weight, racing suspension, so it's not really a road car anymore. But, it is a road car, it is a road vehicle in design. So I thought that would be a good starting point, and it actually wasn't that bad. I mean, it was less than a minute off, which is pretty impressive considering, yes, it has more power, but its rear-wheel drive has less downforce and way more. So that's pretty impressive. It did a 6:16.5, so it's 53 seconds slower. I know that's a lot, but again, considering the difference in vehicle types and just the sheer length of the Nordschleife, that's pretty impressive. But this is the only road car that really stands a chance, so I pretty much knew right off the bat from this that there was no way you would ever get a road car to go faster. Now, I'm sure better people could get like some 6 minutes easily, but yeah, I just can't. So I started going to the race cars. Okay, the second slowest car, I'm saying slow in comparison, all these cars are below 630, which is way faster than any other vehicle, any other road vehicle on planet Earth. So these are all very fast cars, but in comparison, the second slowest vehicle was the Porsche 919. Not the EVO, but the 919, the one that's based off of. Now, this has 1,000 horsepower, it has all-wheel drive, it's got lots of aero, and yet, somehow, it was only 30 seconds down the road of the 1-1. It did a 5:46 dead. Yeah. I was very surprised with that. I thought this would do a lot better, you know? This is an X-Class car. And it got beaten by a few P-Class cars. We'll see those later. Or one P-Class car. But, yeah, I thought that would do a lot better. It just didn't. It's a very difficult balance in Nordschleife, because there are so many high-speed sections. So you don't want too much aero. But then you need a lot of aero so you can maintain control. So you gotta have that balance between aero and speed. Because obviously aero slows you down and you don't want that. But as you can see there, if you don't, you get very close and cut the grass a little bit. And it's such a twisty track. It's unbelievably twisty. Now the Porsche was actually very slidey. Didn't realize the 919 would be that slidey. And yeah, I must say, in a bit of self-indulgence, I did very good at the carousel. I don't know what it is. Normally I'm awful at the carousel, but I got it right every single time on the first try. Don't know how that was possible, but I did. But you can see, it's a fast car. These are very fast cars. A 546 is no slouch. This is already beating the 35-year lap record, but we're still we're still a little under 30 seconds off of the evolution of this. So yeah, you can see just how fast that 919 EVO was. Alright, now we go into 6th place with a car I thought should do a lot better. 6 and 7 for the 919 and Indy car here. I thought would do a lot better. The Indy car, especially, this is an X class, basically a Formula 1 car with slightly less acceleration and power. This has 700 horsepower and has the craziest aero in the world. Just look at that aero. That's a lot of aero. And I thought this would do fantastically well. This is the only car from America Land, by the way. But yeah, it was only 4 seconds faster than the 919 at a 542.2. 542.5. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, it looks very fast. And it should be very fast. It's an open-wheeled Indy car, for crying out loud. But it just didn't have the overall pace. There wasn't anything necessarily bad about it, it just didn't have pace. And I thought that was very strange, because Formula 1 cars go very fast around here. And they're open-wheeled cars with less downforce than this. So I guess it's the gearing and the way the power is delivered from the engine? I'm not sure. It's very strange, because this, I believe, has a V8 or a V10, I don't remember, but it has a different power plant than the Formula 1 cars, and it only has 6 or 7 gears, so maybe the acceleration is worse? I'm not sure. But yeah, it didn't do as well as I was hoping. It got beaten by a P-class car and is an X-class car. I mean, again, it's no slouch, but yeah, I thought America would do a fair bit better. Okay, in 5th place we have the only P-class car in the top 5, the Porsche 962, doing a 540.446. That was very quick. I don't know how I did it, but it was probably all due to the monstrous straight line speed. It's got 880 horsepower, flat 6. And it's got an aerodynamic system, well, from the 80s. Make it like a wedge and make it fast. Designed for Le Mans to go 230, not designed to go 200 miles an hour over a jump into a corner. That was very scary. But you see here, we're going over 220 miles an hour down the straightaway, which is 10 or 15 miles an hour faster than any other car. And it was rather rudimentary in how it delivered that power. It had a wheel, it had 2 wheels at the back, and that was all, pretty much. Everything else was just hold on, and you're the throttle management system. So you gotta be able to try and figure out, do I put 90% power or 50% power? And you gotta figure that out very quickly. And occasionally I did get it a little bit wrong, like there. But yeah, I would have liked a little bit more aero on this car. Like front aero would be nice. Front aero would be really nice. And bigger tires would be also nice, because it does get a lot of wheel spin in 3rd gear. So it's a very finicky car to get right. But yeah, when you get on the straights, it just eviscerates every single car on this list except for the Koenigsegg. And even then it now accelerates the Koenigsegg. So I'm pretty sure that's the sole reason it's here. It has enough, just barely enough cornering to make it acceptable. And then it monsters everything down the straight like it's in neutral. It's an absolutely bonkers machine. And this is the one that held the Nurburgring lap record for 35 years until Porsche beat it. So, yeah, 540 was a bit of a modification on my part. Not really that surprising when you think about it. Alright, in 4th place, we start getting to the really fast cars. With the 90s Formula 1 cars under the MP4-4 McLaren. This is, well, a monster. It gave Senna a few world championships, and it set a lap time of 5:29.5 at the Nurburgring. I'm pretty sure it does wheelies around these curves when you hit them and you go straight. I'm pretty sure I saw a wheelie. Not sure about that. Might just be hallucinating because this car is incredibly fast. It's scarily fast, actually. It's actually somewhat easy to drive because it's a naturally aspirated V10, so there's no turbo lag, which is nice. It's just very nice. But oh, it's a fast car. I mean, it's flat out through there because it weighs half as much as the Ford Fiesta. It has half as much downforce. It has the same amount of weight as the car in downforce. It's got 650 horsepower, 675. The only difficulty is that it's rear-wheel drive. And that does make it a little bit scary, but since it has no weight and has all the weight over the rear in that massive wing, you actually get fantastic levels of traction. And that means you can corner up to like, probably, I think I measured 5G at one point. I don't know how you survive 5G constantly, but there you go. There you go. Yeah, it's a stupidly fast car. It just blows away all the sense of speed. This was the fastest car in Forza 6 for a very long time, and the 5:29.5 shows it. Yeah, one of the fastest cars in Forza 6. Now, we go to the final car that I tested, which was the Ferrari 641. I said earlier that the McLaren was the fastest car in Forza 6. Until this came along. This shattered every single record known to man. And I don't know why. I think I know why. It has more power, has 5 more horsepower, weighs the same amount, and has even more aero. But the fact that Senna won all those championships is surprising given how fast this car is compared to it. Because the Ferrari 641 went 7 seconds faster than its MP4-4 rival, did a 5:22.9. Unfortunately, that is close but no cigar from, it's still 3 seconds off of that Porsche 919 EVO's time. That's a lot. I did narrow it down a lot. I didn't really know what more to do. I used all my P and X class cars in my garage that had a chance, because this was just lying around, and I was like, oh hey, let's use that. But I didn't really know what else to use in my garage, because this couldn't beat it, and this was the fastest car in Forza 6. And then I remembered, well, there was one car in Forza 7 that's faster than this. It was a car I didn't want to use, but at this point, based on my current driver level, it was my last chance, and if I didn't use it, and if I didn't beat it with that, I would never beat the 919 EVO's time because this car is fast. This car is incredibly fast. You can see it here. It's like I sped the footage up by 2 times, but it's just crazy. And this couldn't do it with my skill level. So I had to do the thing I didn't want to do. Alright. I had to use the Renault RS17. This is by far the scariest vehicle I have ever driven. Because it gets wheel spin in 4th gear, it has 1,100 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, and it weighs absolutely nothing. And the turn-in, you're going 150 down the shortest of straights, and the turn-in is just instantaneous. So if you misjudge it by a hair, you turn in too early, and if you misjudge it by another hair, you turn in way too late and you crash into the wall and die. So, it is a terrifying death machine. And it is very fast and very scary. You just see here. It looks like I sped the footage up 4 times now. However, despite my inability to drive anything well, I was able to just about, with a little bit of practice, get the Renault RS17 to do a 5-minute 4.8 around the Nurburgring, which makes it 15 seconds faster than the 919 EVO. Yeah, I was a little afraid after the Ferrari went around that I wouldn't be able to use. That I wasn't able to beat the 919. And while I was doing testing in this car, I didn't think I would either, just because I would have crashed too much. However, I was able to just about scrape together a lap good enough to go almost sub 5 minutes. It was the best lap of the Nurburgring I've ever done. I don't know how I did it. I really don't. Because it is a white-knuckle death ride every single corner, and there's 148 corners. I probably decreased my life expectancy by 2 years driving this car. It is terrifying, because it's flat out everywhere. And it's going, and the reason why this is so fast, and it gets wheel spin in 4th gear, is because 1st gear is irrelevant, 2nd gear is relevant, 3rd gear is irrelevant, and 4th gear is just about relevant. So, it just shifts through them so fast. And it's just crazy fast. Because of that, because it gets such good acceleration. Now, it was very low, which I was afraid of, because it would bottom out, and now I lose downforce and all that stuff. Luckily, it didn't happen too much. You just had to avoid the curves, which I wasn't doing a very good job of at that point. But, you know, I will take it. And, yeah, you can see the wheel spin is slithering all over the place around that corner. It was a scary, scary little car. But it was enough to beat the EVO. It had the downforce, it had the grip, it had the raw acceleration. Despite being rear-wheel drive, it had the raw acceleration to just demolish the 919's time. So, if Renault is listening for whatever reason, unbeknownst to science, then we gotta give them a call and tell them to take their RS17 around the track, because at least based on Forza science, it can go faster than their Porsche 919. And I don't think Porsche had an answer to that, because it took Porsche 2 months to get that lap time with the fastest car they have ever built. So, yeah. And then what also helps is you see the old Formula 1 cars can top out at 209, 210 down here. This was doing 220. It was very fast. It was about 10 miles an hour faster than the other Formula 1 cars. And had more grip, more acceleration, and as shown here, just more speed. and the brakes were phenomenal. I mean, I'm still going flat out, and brake. It is scary because you're braking into a corner, like in a corner, but there you go. So, if you want to beat the Porsche 919 Evolution, all you gotta have is a Formula 1 car from the modern era. 90s won't cut it, 80s won't cut it, road cars definitely won't cut it, and Indy car is awful. So there you go. So the French can actually win at something. It just happens that that is Nurburgring lap records. Yeah, I mean, all of these cars are very fast. Heck, the slowest one is only 5 seconds down on the original lap record holder. But yeah, that Renault is a car I never want to drive again. Ever. It's just awful to drive because it's so fast. But yeah, anyway, I did it. Didn't expect to do it, but I did it. And that will be it for this episode of Forza Motorsports. Now I'm back with more.